Hey guys, it's another Demon Slot Reviews and this is another Scalextric test drive. This time it's the Ford RS200. Now I could have done one ages ago because I did actually review one of the first Ford RS200s to be released. The mistake I made though was I didn't do it fast enough and it got sold before I could actually do a test drive on it. But it's worked out rather well because now I've got this one and I can test drive this, and I think it's more appropriate because it's Mr. Rallycross's one and this is the Group B one, so again, it's another legendary car in itself, and for all you Rallycross fans out there, I think you'll be slightly more happy that I'm doing this car. And again, I think it's a lovely looking car, and I hope it handles very well. It's got a sidewinder, and it is in fact 18,000 rev, and it's also digital plug ready, which will come in handy when I want to do the digital test drives in the future. And I also think it will be even more interesting in this car because it has no lights, because it's so realistic and it's so well done to the detail in the fact that Rallycross cars run a silhouette and this one doesn't have lights. So I think it's a very well done car, and Scalextric have really put a lot of effort into it, and I really hope it handles as well as it looks. Not just for myself but for all you rally fans out there and your Ford RS200 fans, because I know quite a few people that are really into the Ford RS200. So what better thing to do than to start testing it straight away.
This is the Radius 1 chicane test. Now, the car handled very well and it actually had a very good top speed. And the first thing I found out about this car was you needed to slightly adjust the second lot of screws, because if you turn it too tight, I don't know if it was just my one or if it was just in general, it wouldn't work. So I just had to unscrew it just a tiny bit because it was squeezing so much on the wire, it was actually stopping the connection from going to the motor. But I think this was just one of my, I think it might have just been a fault with my car. But eventually I figured out what was wrong with it, and it went really well. It was good in speed and it was also good in corners, and I think the tighter the corner with this car the better it's going to be and the more fun it's going to be. Without a magnet, this car would be a lot more fun, and it would be a lot like the Rallycross stage in which they had, where they would slide around everywhere and they'd really, have a good race against each other. Now I think in the Radius 1 corners it handles very well, which gave me a lot of hope for the Radius 2 corners, and again it did very well in the Radius 2s. We're moving on to the Radius 2 corners now with the crossover. Now, in the crossover with the Radius 1 corners, we barely had any fishtail in, so we didn't get very many fishtails in the crossover either, because it was a less sharp turn and it was less of a strain for the car. But it was a very good fun car to drive, and I also think that it's a very good car, rally car, and I think it also has many characteristics of the rally cars in the fact that it slides everywhere and it's generally a good fun. It's not as fast as I'd say it's the GT cars or the LMPs. It's definitely a bit sort of slower, but once you get the speed up and if you can hold the speed, it's very good. I also thought it was a very easy car to drive, and for new people it would also be a good car to get. But if you're one of those who likes to take the magnets out, it would be a lot more fun, I think, without the magnet, just because it's a rally car. A rally car is one of those cars that I do like to take the magnets out of and race without them, but GT cars I like to keep the magnets in. So that's the review. Please rate, comment and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed it.